Hello and welcome. It is the 15th of March 2019. My name is Derek Allbets Trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Bitcoin making an attempt, looking as if it's ready to break out for a leg higher as today's session on that of Friday, at least that of 8 p.m. Eastern time. Closing at that of 3,902 is up a little further to 39.24 amongst the single hour time frame. This thing really got going this morning about 6, 7 o'clock and has not stopped. Reaching this level of resistance between 11 o'clock and even further at 1500 hours. But over the last few hours is continuing its progression towards the upside. And after a move to this high, twice hit level of support in here, and really several days resisting amongst this level. Yeah, it did at first on March the 9th, but even just coming up close to, like, from the rally, even on March the 5th, how it's just been going this up and down sideways move. I think it's had a good amount of time, and after this previous day where it hit both the 18 lows and highs, and today's or session doing what it's doing, I think this is looking poised to potentially have a very good gain. And right now, Litecoin is breaking out very nicely. It's up to 61 US dollars as the session on Friday closed at 4.45%, 4.5% up almost 5% in today's session alone. And we look at this on a weekly term time frame. This is now at levels not seen against the US dollar since the early October period. And as I've been saying for a little while, I think this is poised ready to go for to up to a level of about 125, where we see this in here. What I like about this move since the decline is how you have this break, the sideways move, and then this February play in here. What does it do after that fact? It has a pause week. The week after that, it attempts to extend the gains, but it falls right back. And then another, really three pause weeks in a row. And then last week, having this move here, the March 4th week, breaking out barely above this level, continuation as this seems to go higher. This could be poised for a decent size moves in volatility, something Litecoin usually doesn't offer too much. But given how this is playing out amongst, I really like its setup right now. And the single hour turn, this thing, of course, just recently breaking out for 3 solid hours now, going from 57 and 3/5 now up to 61. And it really got going even earlier than Bitcoin 5 a.m., just continuously making its moves higher from 55 and 3/4 and up over 10% during that time as you get bigger volatility up and down with the coins like the LTC, crossing this against Bitcoin and at the 155 number, and it reached a high of 157. How long ago did that happen? No, okay. I was going to say, I don't think I had my sell order quite. I have one little higher than that. That's against Bitcoin. But I just recently sold some against DGB, meaning what I sold on the market, I bought for DGB and then moved that to my hardware wallet. But that's because of this rise that happened in here. The this break higher breaks the 151, and it just happens in like 3 4 minutes. 151 up to about 157. That's a 6 point differential. That's like 4%. Hey, not too bad. But overall, within the daily term, breaking out from the 18 average, leaving this level of resistance on its weekly term time frame. It's now at areas not seen since the summer, or really the start of the summer of last year, end of the spring. This is about 9 month highs in which it is at. So it's at the lower end of this area. It's at a previous area of that of key support. And when we look at this even more further within the monthly chart, to me, this is where it gets very, very interesting as every time it made these decent sized peaks, the original one, and it got up to the point oh 0.03 single O rather, but it got up to about 3% of the price, and then it fell back down 6x, reached it again in here to that three handle, and then had, well, I'm not going to count this fall, but I will count this one falling to 0003, and then it has this decent sized move, but it comes with a much higher low. Really, this is a failed breakout in here because it barely got above the 18 average of highs. It did have the higher low. So you really did expect there was a good chance of taking it out. And now we have another higher low and a very good price correction that it most recently had. Three very good green candles higher. So therefore, if it seems a little odd right now that it's going to resist that previous level of support that I was showing in here, and not at least come and retest at least around the point, at least 0.02. And even still, this is an attempt to break it higher. I think we're going to have another reattempt. Now, I think what would be healthy for the market, and I don't even know if that's a good word to use, but wouldn't be a surprise, is that you come up in here and then make a very good higher low. Somewhere around where we are now at the one, excuse me, somewhere where this line is at around 130 at the lowest level. So you come up to say 225, back down to 130, make another higher low, then back up to 225, and most likely even crush through these levels here, and maybe make it up to a dime or a .1 handle. But for now, and as this is playing out, it is breaking out of this 1 week or so sideways, correcting through time. Thank you for. Actually, I'm going to show Litecoin against Ethereum and finish it off within that. And it's at 4/9 the price of Ethereum at 0.44. And on the weekly chart, basically at its, at least since the summer of 2017, at its highest point that it's had against Ethereum. How far, how high this can go, I don't know, but it's obviously at the higher end. And if you were to trade Ethereum and Litecoin together, I would recommend selling up here, buying down here, selling up here, buying down here, and yeah, selling up here maybe. And you see how this all changes, how it's spending little time below the 18 lows. So if you're buying down here, well, now would be a little bit of selling. But it has sort of changed this choppyish trend to a degree by having a pattern of significant higher highs. There's 1, 2, and 3. It's making higher lows. And I'm not going to go through any different fundamentals of why Ethereum maybe is not so bad, at least in comparison to Litecoin, or why Litecoin is so much better. But as long as there's people willing to be buying up Litecoin at these prices and so on and so forth, I wouldn't be surprised if this could make a new high, maybe go to 0.6, 0.7, 0.8. But again, everything you sold up here should have been bought back. And on the way up, it was a selling spot. So therefore, selling up here, maybe you might have bought back here, maybe not. Selling up here, maybe you haven't bought back, probably, depending on your volatility, of course. And well, at some point, it would have to come through. So if I sold up here, and I'm not trading this cross together, I'd be looking to sell up here again. And well, if it comes back, and oftentimes they do, I'd be ready for a buy order. But for me, cross trading Litecoin and a DGB is my trade right now. And right now, DGB isn't going up over the last few days. It's just consolidating. You can make an uptrend line. It's definitely got this downward sort of spiral. But if Litecoin goes up and this goes sideways, then I'm gaining both DGB and Litecoin by doing so. And I've had basically 2 sells and 2 buybacks already since I started doing it. So not too shabby to start. And have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.